Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sports Department Podcast, the wrestling recap version where myself, Stephen Clark, Justin Valentovic, and Jesse Norman are all here to break down this week in wrestling. It's been a couple weeks since we actually had a normal wrestling recap because there was the Rumble, then NXT TakeOver, then there was Elimination Chamber, so it feels finally good to just sit back, relax, don't have to worry about Justin losing any predictions, and just break down this
Don't have to worry
week.
about Justin's shoveling snow for the Parkway.
That too. It's all melting.
Yeah, thank God. You have no idea how happy I am to see mud and grass and rain and not snow. Thank God.
Well, I guess that's how you're doing.
Happy.
I was about to get into that part of my intro. So, Justin, I guess you're doing well because there's
no snow
around.
Coming down from the sky at least. But, whatever. It'll melt. Go away. Springtime.
Springtime, baseball time. Good time.
Springtime.
Jesse, how you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Can't complain too much.
Glad to hear it. And Justin, I'm assuming, like I just said, you're doing well with the.
I'm doing all right.
Being gone. That's good. I
didn't get a job that I applied for, but ups and downs, ebbs and flows. We'll get there. Yeah, one day at a time.
We'll get there. Maybe this could be our source of income doing this podcast eventually down the line.
That'd be cool.
That'd be the dream, honestly. But
ShopRite is a sponsor, Jesse. Let's look at the can sell. Moving along here. Can't get Marg Madness anymore. So.
Imagine putting our logo on all the cans.
Or having Jesse just hold a can for a whole.
Justin, why don't we put him on the road signs?
That is true.
I still have to have our
connection to the Parkway.
Yeah, have our meeting about branding. We never had it. We have to still talk about that. But that's offline stuff. That's not stuff to talk about on here. But let's get outside the ring before inside the ring, like we usually do on wrestling recap episodes. And the big news that broke this week that kind of shocked the whole internet in a way was that the Big Show, with his real name being Paul Wight, is going to be heading to All Elite Wrestling. The last time we saw Paul Wight was in Legends Night on Monday Night Raw. He was like in a wheelchair type thing backstage, and it was kind of like a short little quick segment. It brought back to the little Orton thing that happened back in 2020. But it's confirmed he's going to AEW. He's going to be a commentator on AEW Dark. He might head into the ring. We might see a match with Shaq. What do you guys feel about this?
He just put the final nail in his coffin of ever getting into the WWE Hall of Fame for as long as AEW is a company. So that ship has sailed. On commentary, I don't really know, because like when he's done special guest commentary on WWE, not great, but obviously he was doing that as like a character rather than an actual broadcaster. If he's gonna get in the ring, he's not gonna do much, but we'll probably see the Shaq match to some degree, whatever their biggest pay-per-view is. I couldn't tell you. Was it like Full Gear? Or
I don't think they've made. I don't think they've established that yet.
Double or Nothing.
I don't know if they've established. Yeah,
a number one. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll probably see that. I don't think we're gonna see him like a bi-weekly or a monthly basis get in the ring unless like they use him on commentary to intersect himself into a feud. If he's on commentary one day and Shaq is there, that's probably going to be the early seeds of that match. So that's probably what they're going to aim to do. So great.
They might pair him up with Cody when he's doing the Shaq thing, make him like a bodyguard type thing. I'd be fine. I'd be fine if they do like Big Show as Cody's like bodyguard type thing for the Shaq feud.
It sounds like Clark
instead of him actually like getting in the ring.
Yeah. It sounds like, Clark, you're not too thrilled about the whole Shaq thing to begin with. Is it because of Shaq or more so Big Show?
Big Show. I'm okay with them getting exposure with Shaq and inside the NBA and all that show, like vice versa, like advertising for each show, because Shaq is a part of the TNT family with that. So I'm 100% okay with Shaq being around the scene. Do I necessarily want to see him step into a ring? No. The same goes with WWE and Bad Bunny. I love what that's doing for WWE with Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny is the hottest musician in the world right now. Number one artist streamed on Spotify in 2020. But do I really want to see him get into the ring? Not really. I don't want to see them fight. Like if they just bring the attention to the company, which makes the companies better, I'm cool with that. But matches is a whole different story from just special appearances and special performances and just little segments here and there. That's how I feel on it.
Okay.
But like back to your note on the commentary, I just feel like Big Show doesn't have like a commentator type voice.
That's where I was kind of going too, because it's like like him talking's fine, but like it feels like his type of voice where it's like that deeper, huskier,
Yeah.
just kind of he's always usually loud also. So I feel
Loud?
like that like
Yeah.
I just feel like it'll wear thin quick.
Yeah, I feel like he was like a frog in his throat the way he talks too. Like
Yeah.
it's not
Does this mean we'll potentially get a second season of the Big Show?
I don't
really
think
hope
so.
maybe AEW's YouTube channel picks it up.
Maybe we'll get the Paul Wight show.
The Paul Wight show.
I think the Big Show is like with WWE. It was with WWE, so
and it was bad.
Yeah, no, it was
too.
I think he
of course it was bad. WWE studios are terrible.
Yeah, I watched like the first like couple episodes, like first 2, I think, and I was like, man, this is bad. This is very bad.
Not good.
Yeah, it just says TV series 2020. Usually, if they think they're going to continue it, they do a dash and then leave that blank. There's just no dash.
Yeah, so, no, it's done. It's over.
Which is for the better. But anyways, Paul Wight is all elite into AEW, so we're kind of intrigued. I wouldn't say excited. I would say more intrigued to see how this is going to turn out. But switching over to WWE really quickly, it was the whole storyline that's been talked about for the last couple of weeks about Lacey Evans being pregnant, and Jesse and I crapped on the booking decision from Elimination Chamber to not have Asuka defend her title and just having the match scrapped and not even talked about once. And Lacey Evans hasn't been mentioned on television basically once, except for the little Charlotte promo backstage. But it was confirmed in an interview that she did that she's actually pregnant. So congratulations to Lacey Evans, and I'm happy. She's gonna take some time off, get rid of the storyline with Ric Flair, hopefully.
Yeah, that was a clean break of just getting out of that storyline.
She's
definitely did that on purpose.
Well, and it's perfect time so that they can set Charlotte up for Asuka.
Yeah, again. No, it was all perfect timing.
Yeah, no, who knows if Lacey did this on purpose too to get out of the storyline, because she probably thought it was stupid too. Like, let me get knocked up really quickly and then dip for 9 months. But
this does not make it any better that they didn't have an Asuka match.
It doesn't. No,
it doesn't. It doesn't make it any better. It's like great for Lacey. Yes. Congratulations. She probably knew this last week then, and they you can't say like, oh well, they didn't want to throw a match together. They throw a match together all the time.
Did we get remember when we got that random R-Truth match
together?
Like, was it like WrestleMania that one year where we just got like an R-Truth match like before the main event or something?
They came out and did the dance break
maybe
2 years ago.
I don't think it was WrestleMania, but it was just some pay-per-view where like it was clear they were short on time to hit the quota when they were still trying to hit, plus 3 hours. And they just like threw R-Truth out there versus like somebody. I don't remember who.
I remember when it was the Kurt Hawkins match that.
Yes, I think that was it.
That ended when they didn't show the ending because something was happening back. All of a sudden you hear the bell ring in the background, and like Hawkins, not Hawkins, probably lost. He's on a losing streak, but probably Hawkins versus Slater. I have a feeling it was. And you hear Slater's music just playing in the background, but something's happening in like the parking lot or something. So that happened.
Boy, when WWE doesn't care about matches, they really don't care.
They don't care. No. But no, Lacey Evans is pregnant, and this story is most likely done. And we'll get to the whole Charlotte thing when we get to Monday Night Raw.
So she'll be gone for plus a year, basically.
Probably
about a year,
because you got to figure 9 months, 9 months for the actual process.
Well, she's probably like I would assume at least 12 weeks. You can't really know until like 6 to 12. So she's probably already like 3-ish months in.
Yeah, but still probably a year just for recovery and getting back into ring shape and actually raising the child.
Raising the child, and we can base it off of what we see with Becky too when she comes back, and kind of judge it off of that. But congrats to Lacey Evans. All in all, all jokes aside, congratulations.
Cool.
And Justin, you brought up this next point, or Jesse? I think Justin brought it up. But there was a little image going around on Twitter that Finn Balor posted of his action figure, which I still yet to find.
You don't have a Finn action figure?
I have a Finn action figure. I don't have that Finn action figure.
Oh, okay.
I need the updated heel Finn version.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Every time I've gone to not Toys R Us, Target, the wrestling section is just empty.
It's bad. It's just they have distribution. I could go on an hour rant about this. The distribution problems is just horrible. It's bad. It's bad the way to distribute the toys and all that stuff. It's disgusting. But anyways, Finn Balor posted a picture of his action figure and Conor McGregor's action figure with Triple H in the middle, and it says Triple H X Notorious MMA, which is Conor's tag on Twitter. Alexis, shut up.
You didn't even say
Um,
Alexa.
I know.
Mhm.
I have to just unplug it while I do these shows for some reason. And Finn Balor figured too. And then McGregor quoted that tweet saying, "No more Mr. Nice Guy," and Triple H quoted that and said, "Just say when." So this is maybe planting the seeds a little bit for McGregor versus Balor somewhere down the line.
We've seen WWE use social media in the past to start like a feud as to open the door for celebrities to come in and have a match down the line. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is somehow they use this to get McGregor in WWE. But we were talking about it before the podcast here that, this would seem very, Saudi show, as considering Tyson Fury was a Saudi show. Cain Velasquez was a Saudi show. But, with COVID, they're not going to Saudi Arabia anytime soon. So, who
You
knows if
think
we...
that?
Yeah, well, true. More money.
Well,
They
second
charter
they
flight.
get the
charter
green
flight.
light. Exactly. Exactly.
My only argument to your point being a Saudi show is that Conor McGregor is a bigger name than Cain Velasquez and Tyson.
Oh, no, I agree. And, Saudi Arabia is where Fight Island is. So, Conor's kind of built up Fight Island a little bit there, even though he got his ass kicked there last time. It's going to happen, I think. And Finn's an interesting person to have the match with,
The Irish boys.
Yeah, no, but, usually you would have thought it would have been like Brock if he was around, because that's what they did with Velasquez, or like, but I guess because Finn is...
Well, at least with Velasquez, there was a...
Yeah, the UFC
with
tie.
Brock, there was a Cain Velasquez thing, yeah.
But just like Tyson, like Tyson Fury and like Braun was just like, they're big.
Give me McGregor and Roman now. I would love McGregor and Roman.
But see, they kind of have to they have to pair him with someone like around his size to make it credible.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it's Finn. And they're probably going to run with the idea of who's the bigger, like, Irish champion icon, and at that point get Becky involved in the mix somehow and pin them both.
And Sheamus,
yeah,
and Killian Dane, get all the Irish guys in there. But no,
I think it's going to happen.
The Andre the Giant Memorial Irish Battle Royal.
This is definitely if they don't go Saudi with this, it's a very big four match. Obviously, I don't think it would be at a WrestleMania. It could be at SummerSlam. It won't be at Rumble. It wouldn't be at Survivor Series for sure, because they don't give a shit about those two as much as they should. At least Survivor Series, clear cut, no one cares about anymore.
And I would hope he gets the Ronda treatment in a way too. I think that'd be
just goes on a year run.
Yeah, a year or two run, just dominating everybody, and then eventually just like maybe Roman is kind of like in a face-ish, heelish tweener type role, and Roman finally puts him down or something as the face of the company, something like that. But I'm cool with them tickling our balls a little bit and trying to plant the seeds for this feud. But this is the main thing now we got to talk about on the show. I don't want to talk about it, but I want to make fun of it because this company, this man that runs this newsletter.
Oh, those are a lot.
Yeah, that's
wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't gotten from my clown,
I didn't scroll down enough. Holy God, that's a lot.
These are the Wrestling Observer newsletter awards. Dave Meltzer, big part of that company.
It's just stupid. I'm looking at some of the
it's
of the awards.
Stupid. I just wanted to talk about some of the awards.
Why is most overrated with Bray Wyatt? Like, why is most overrated an award? Like, who'd want the most overrated award?
Because they love crapping on WWE. That's why those awards are made for them to crap on WWE. Granted, we just talk about WWE on the show. We have maybe a slight bias, I do at least, towards WWE because I grew up with that and I just stuck with it throughout the day. But I don't mind AEW. What?
I just don't have the time to watch anything else. I barely watch WWE as it is.
Exactly, I know. But
we also focus on 3 of the 4 major sports. On this, so it's like we're watching so much other crap too.
It's a lot, but some of the awards, I just wanted to talk about the main awards for the most part, and the ones where they crapped on WWE for no reason. Wrestler of the Year, Moxley. I guess that's fine. I think that's fine. You could have gave it to Sasha Banks, maybe you could have gave it to Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre.
This seems like some of these award names are like what we would make at like the radio station.
Silly, very silly. Like the
names. It's just stupid. It's like a paper plate award.
It's kind of stupid. Tag Team of the Year, the Young Bucks. I don't agree with that one. Street Profits were on a tear all year. Phenomenal matches. Held the titles for over 300 days. That's one I don't agree with. But
Worst promotion of the year, WWE. Shut the fuck up.
Exactly, worst promotions when there's other ones that are way worse than WWE. I know worst show is Raw. I kind of agree with that one.
Worst major wrestling show, WWE Super Showdown. Okay, that's
that one I agree with too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Got a point there. Worst TV announcer, Michael. Like, why?
Michael Cole's fantastic. Like,
yeah, if they were gonna give it to anybody in WWE for the worst, I'm sorry, it'd be Joseph.
Best flying wrestler. Flying wrestler,
Ray Phoenix. Overrated. This one's the talking point. They said Bray Wyatt's overrated.
The Fiend is the best thing.
After they just gave the Fiend the best gimmick like last year. Now he's the worst gimmick.
And now he's also didn't just get most overrated.
Okay, the MVPs are the MVP awards by like country are the stupidest ones. Who cares? Then at that point, like
that's
really?
dumb. Yeah.
Most disgusting promotional tactic. WWE firing people during a pandemic during a year where they were setting profit records. While I agree, that's not a promotional tactic.
Exactly.
That was a money tactic.
That was a business decision, which was absolutely disgusting and terrible and should not have happened. But saying that was a promotional tactic does not.
Also, he was saying like they set record profits for a year. They fired people at the beginning of 2020, which was like 3 months in.
Exactly.
So it was record profits for 2019. Dumbass.
Exactly.
They still shouldn't have done it regardless.
No, I agree.
Of course. But
they did end up bringing a lot of those guys back.
Yeah, which is good.
A lot of the backstage ones.
Because they're gearing up for hitting the road soon because they're going to get kicked out of Tampa Bay in a month.
Yes, they will. But no, like Jesse, you brought up that the Fiend.
They should go to Dolly's place or Dally's place or whatever the AEW place is called. That'd be hilarious.
Imagine they're like right next door.
Yeah.
But no, Jesse, you said last year Bray Wyatt won best gimmick. This year he won worst gimmick. Like the logic behind some of these. Best booker and promoter of the year,
because they thought the mainstream wasn't going to get behind the Fiend, and then immediately once they did, they were like, "Oh, we don't like this.
Exactly.
We don't like this."
Best pro wrestling book.
This is so.
It's bad.
Did you hear like what he said about like WWE having Bad Bunny? Like also like he just sounds so out of touch.
He just sounded like a racist
he sounded
old man.
So mad.
Yeah, like a racist white guy. Like
literally, he sounded like.
When he was like 55-year-old white guys won't care about what's going on. It's like no, because you're a 55-year-old white guy who doesn't care what's going on.
Yeah,
care what's going on. I don't see a best promo.
Best on interviews.
Here. I
think that's
best on interviews. Okay, Roman should be winning that. Yeah, Roman this year on promos was untouched.
Roman was good.
Roman this year on promos was absolutely ridiculous. Just for the Drew sit down alone, when he was like, "Drew, you're a fantastic champion. You're great. You're a wonderful number 2 because I am the number 1." And then everything he did with Edge, where he would like yell and was like, "Don't mess with me. I am the head guy." Roman easily was the best promo of the year. By far and away.
Yeah, either that or I remember when quarantine first started up, the Edge promos too on Randy Orton were really, really well done too. Mm-hmm. But just a couple little other ones. Most underrated Ricochet, I can agree with that one. Rookie of the year, Pat McAfee.
I agree, 100% agree.
This is like
who else was the rookies of the year? Like who else was a rookie?
Like you could have rookies to companies, but like rookie to wrestling would be like Bad Bunny.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like that's like a little like cheap little stab they did at WWE. Like, oh, you had a football player come in and is better than half your roster and all that stuff. Like, it's like
who else would there have been?
What?
Yeah. Like, who else would there have been? Like rookie of the year. It's like when you think about like someone who just got put on NXT TV who's been training at the PC for 5 years. Like, is that how they quantify as a rookie? Like, how do you?
I don't know
who a rookie is.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if you consider calling up to be a rookie because otherwise.
Well, that's the thing. Like, what are the parameters?
Lee did well. Matt Riddle did well.
Those guys have fought literally all over the world. So it's like, is that?
Yeah, he's an idiot. Ugh.
But enough of this. I'm sick of talking about Dave Meltzer.
Also, okay, sorry. The best wrestling maneuver, Kenny Omega's one-winged angel. The one-winged angel is such a bad finisher. It is so bad. The move looks like it hurts, but it takes so much setup that nobody how do you take that move? You have to get fully put up on his shoulders. He has to then slowly kind of try to put you down, then like grab one of your arms. That is the slowest moving finisher, period. You can't tell me the Claymore is not a better finisher for the year.
I was just about to say that. If I had to pick my finisher of the year, it's the Claymore. It's the Claymore.
It's the Claymore easily.
Had to put down Brock.
And it can come out of nowhere. You can catch people in midair with it.
Yeah, no. I was about to say
so much setup for the one-winged. Oh God, I hate that move. Like, and I don't mind Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega's fine. He's I don't hate him like other people do or anything. Like, I think he's fine. But that finisher is not good. I don't care what anybody says. If a finishing move requires that much setup, it doesn't feel realistic that somebody could not get out of it.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I'm sick of talking about Dave Meltzer. So I'm going to move on to this week in wrestling. And we start off usually, and we're going to start off again with Monday Night Raw. The Raw right after Elimination Chamber that Justin lost in the predictions to again.
What was the final score to that?
Like the points or?
Yeah, what are the standings? I wasn't on that.
Okay. Oh, yeah, let me go through that.
Because we had snow.
We had snow, so Jesse and I just banged out that podcast. Justin, you had a total of 2 matches correct.
Hey!
And it was the first 2 matches of the night. Because you got off to that lead and was talking a bunch of smack in our group chat.
Yeah.
It didn't pay off in the long run. So you had 2. And Jesse and I, we had 3.
Idiot.
We had 3. Yeah, there was only 5 matches.
Okay.
Yeah, more than half. But now the final score pay-per-view wise, Jesse hasn't got a pay-per-view wrong technically yet. He has a score of 3. I have 2 because I tied. Jesse and I tied the last 2 pay-per-views, and Justin still has the big donut there. In total points, Jesse has 15, which is for the tiebreaker. He has 15. I have 13. You have 7. And the ratings, Justin rated this pay-per-view the highest out of all of us at a 7 out of 10. I gave it a 6. Jesse gave it a 5.5, which is an 18.5 out of 30 or a 62 out of 100. So that's how we ranked Elimination Chamber. So far, lowest rated pay-per-view of the year. But it'll probably get worse from there. There'll be another dud somewhere down the line.
Fastlane. Calling it now.
Fastlane? Really?
Fastlane?
Or whatever. That's the next one, right?
That is the next one.
Yeah, I'm calling it now. It's going to be bad.
Okay.
Bold prediction, hot take, freezing cold.
Justin's going to give it a 2 just to make it right.
I wouldn't intentionally do that.
Not intentionally. But all right, Monday Night Raw. It started off with the new WWE champion, The Miz, got interrupted by Bobby Lashley saying, "Hey, I helped you win that title. We made a deal backstage. You give me a title match now." Miz basically saying, "No, I'm not ready," blah, 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 being all the chicken crap heel that he is. And basically, Strowman came out later in the night demanding a championship match because he's big and he's Braun Strowman. That's the only reason why I can think of why he did it. And then Pierce put together.
That's how Braun's
was just
stupid. Past, like, 4 times.
Yeah.
That's how Braun's gotten the past like 4 or 5 times.
I was texting Clark about this. I'm like, I think they're setting up Shane versus Braun for Mania because they're gonna need matches to fill up the 2-night card. So we're gonna get that.
It's gonna be Shane versus Braun.
It's gonna be like a street fight or something.
But anyways, then Shane or
and Braun's gonna throw him off some stuff.
He's gonna throw him off the pirate ship. That's how they're gonna get someone to do something off the pirate ship.
Yeah, because Kevin Owens isn't gonna get used now. But anyways, then Shane or Pierce made the match saying, "Hey, Braun versus Lashley. Braun, if you win, it's a triple threat next week for the title. Otherwise, it's just Lashley versus Miz for the title next week." Lashley wins. Lashley versus Miz for the title this upcoming Monday.
I thought Miz was gonna be like, "How about we do it at Mania?" And just build that right then and there. But
that would have been funny, actually.
No, I thought that's what they were gonna do. I thought he was gonna be like, because he was running with, "I need more time. Give me some time. I want to be my best." Blah 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 blah. Why didn't you say, "All right, I'll see you in 2 months"?
That would have been kind of funny, actually.
It would have made more sense to do it that way.
Just exclude Drew out of the whole title picture in general.
No, but then they could have run
like they did with Kofi after.
No, but then they could have run with like whatever Drew's match at Fastlane was. If he wins, he gets in. Then they could have easily done the Bobby Lashley Drew at Fastlane. Be like, if Drew gets in, it's a triple threat match then. Which Drew, Miz, Bobby Lashley would be. Cool,
that would have been good. I don't think that's the direction they're going, but that would have been good. How do we feel? Most likely by the next time we do a wrestling podcast, Bobby Lashley will be WWE champion. But how we feel?
I don't think so.
This?
I think Morrison gets in the way. I think Miz still survives somehow, and we'll see this match.
Do you think
more
they push it to Fastlane?
Yeah, I think we'll see I think Bobby walks in at Fastlane to where we get Drew, Bobby then, and then Bobby's the one taken down to have Drew's coronation.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's definitely where we're going.
So I feel like that's
Bobby's definitely,
because Bobby's the biggest.
Bobby,
other than Braun, which we've seen already. Bobby is the biggest meathead essentially that Drew can take out and kind of get his big moment in front of people. Other than Roman, basically, would have been the only other monster that he could take down, and that's not going to happen for a long time.
Yeah, I like that idea. I do. Yeah, I think he has a chance to win it this Monday. I think he has a really good chance, Bobby, to win it this Monday. But I can see them just prolonging this and dragging this out till Fastlane.
Yes, they will.
Miz versus Lashley. I say Miz versus Lashley at Fastlane. Honestly, I think that might actually happen. A rematch from Raw.
Yeah.
Lashley wins at Fastlane, then Drew versus Lashley at Mania. I can see that. But that's cool. I'm with Bobby Lashley getting the title for a little bit, and we have only 10 minutes left in this.
Wowzers.
Wow, we're gonna have to possibly extend.
Oh, we can bang it out. We'll probably do a little addition.
We'll do a little addition.
Yeah, we were bitching about Dave Meltzer for a little too long.
Yeah, screw you, Dave. Messed up our podcast. Anyways, let's move into the rest of Monday Night Raw. Not much to talk about with the next two things, but
that's so typical. That's so typical.
It's Raw. It's just Raw in general. Like they do stuff, but it doesn't mean anything. That's why it's so hard to do these podcasts all the time, because you can't talk about Raw that much. Because Charlotte told Rick to go home.
Can't talk about majority of it.
Exactly. Charlotte told Rick to go home. Cool.
Around his birthday, too, nonetheless.
I know. He turned 72. Happy birthday, Rick.
I love how, for WWE side note, for whenever they do anything for Ric Flair, they always post a picture of him in his prime from like 05, 06.
Always. Never recent, Rick, because he
looks bad.
Prime.
He does look like he's in his 80s, like mid 80s. But anyways, told Rick to go home. That's about that. Orton started spitting up black stuff from Alexa Bliss. I looked like the Ultimate Warrior, bleeding black from like the 80s and all that stuff. The black goo from Papa Shango. Cool, I guess.
I guess they're doing something with like dark magic or something.
Just give me the Fiend back at this point.
Yeah, they really. This has gone on a little too long.
Yeah, we need to see the Fiend just to set up so we have Fiend versus Orton again at a Mania.
Exactly.
Not Fiend was Bray last time, but
I know that's where we're heading and everything, but
let's move the show along. Either take a week off, or like take a week off from having it on TV.
Yeah, or something. Like it's been going
getting a little
too long. It's been 2 months already now.
Yeah, they should have waited to start it like now.
If the plan was Mania, they should have waited.
They should have started now, have the fire pit match or whatever it was, do that at Fastlane and then move on from there.
Yeah, and then have Bray come back at Mania. It would have probably been the better thing.
Exactly. And last little tidbit before we take a quick break. Then after the break, we'll just get through NXT and SmackDown. But before that, there was a nice little vignette promo type thing for a new addition to the Monday Night Raw roster, which is Rhea Ripley. And it's a very, very, very interesting time to call her up.
Yeah, before Mania, in between, not even like post Rumble, just kind of like, it's just random.
And this is even after, I don't know if you guys remember from like 2 or 3 years ago when they brought up Gargano, Ciampa, Alistair, and Ricochet.
And then put them all back.
And basically put them all back. But this is even after that point at this time in the year. But this only means one thing for me. They're going to be building up Rhea really good, really quick. And I do think Asuka and Rhea is the WrestleMania match. I really do.
Yeah. I think they're going to go with, it's probably going to be like Charlotte, Rhea, maybe, I don't know, throw Lana, maybe Baszler in like a fatal 4-way kind of number one contenders match at Fastlane.
Yeah.
To see who goes up against Asuka. I think that's their best bet. Or even if they do just like Charlotte versus Rhea or something is something they might do.
Yeah, rematch from last year's WrestleMania. Yeah. But no, if they're calling her up at this time and not waiting until after WrestleMania, she's
got to have a Mania match. Yeah,
there's some plans in the work somewhere here which is fine, which is good. The Raw women's roster is garbage, complete garbage. They need all the help they can get. Hopefully Becky comes back soon too, but no, it's fun to see Rhea Ripley coming to Monday Night Raw now. But we're gonna take a quick break right here. When we come back, we'll just get through NXT and SmackDown, so stay tuned. Okay, we are back and we're talking some NXT. We just wrapped up crappy Monday Night Raw and it's time to get into the best night of the week for wrestling. And it looks like they were building towards Io Shirai and Toni Storm for upcoming TakeOver. We've been talking for months about who's going to be the one to dethrone Io, who's going to be the most viable threat to Io. And I think we finally figured out, they showed it on television to us this week, that it's going to be Toni Storm. So
I don't think it's going to dethrone Io.
Oh,
I just think that's going to be the next prolonged feud into whatever the next takeover would be, whenever that is, which should be Mania time, give or take, so a month or two. But I don't think Toni takes the belt. I think Io still runs with it for a while, but I just think Toni Storm's the next one up because they had no one really else to do it right away because they had Dakota Kai and Raquel off doing their thing, and they just kind of needed somebody.
And that's why you're last in the predictions. Jesse, how are you feeling about this?
No, I mean, now I agree with Justin.
Oh, no.
Who's the idiot now, bitch?
I'm looking at the scoreboard right now. Still you.
That's okay.
I really don't know. I really feel
months.
like I don't feel like it's Toni Storm. I feel like it's got to be either Gonzalez or Xia Li.
Yeah, that's another thing too. They've been building up Xia Li really, really well too over the last couple of weeks with I forgot her name, but like her master or her ruler, like telling her, like controlling her, like destroying Casey Catanzaro basically limb from limb. Even though she did small pipsqueak to begin with, and just attacking her was vicious this week. And it does look like maybe Xia versus Io is like the SummerSlam takeover around then. That's when it might happen too. But no, they're doing a good job. I just want to, in general, of just building up women in the women's division. Like
they always do in NXT.
They're building it up well. Same with Raquel and Dakota going after the tag titles this Wednesday.
I really hope they win. I really hope
they
win.
I hope they get those belts quick and as far away from Nia as humanly possible.
Well, as far away from the main roster as possible.
Well, that's the bigger hope.
The bigger hole.
You walked into that one.
Yeah. I saw a tweet you liked by Raquel where she's like, "I'm looking for new boots to shove up Nia's hole."
And Nia said, "I like the one with the spikes."
Spikes.
Justin's like, ugh.
No, get that away from me.
Nia, we love you.
No,
not me. I think you're unsafe and should not wrestle.
Yeah, that's why she hurt her hole.
Anyways, and this happens every week.
It's
week.
Stupid.
It's so funny. Nia's hole. Anyways, speaking of holes, Cameron Grimes. He's embracing this new gimmick.
Basically, the country Ted DiBiase.
He had hit the stock market. His catchphrase was "to the moon," and that was the whole thing. Jesse knows all about stocks with the Dogecoin and all that stuff. Jesse's basically Cameron Grimes for the most part.
I have like $20 of Dogecoin that I own.
What,
are you frolicking in a Speedo also now?
Yeah, clearly.
I mean, you're both country boys, you know. Probably both born and raised on a farm.
We also can't see the lower half of Jesse right now, so we don't know what's going on under there.
That's fair. Where was Cameron Grimes born and raised?
You look that up while I
Galloway, New
talk
Jersey,
about what he did on
Norman
NXT
Ranch.
this week. Cameron Grimes was embracing, like Justin said, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase's basketball thing from back in the day, where if you dribble the ball 10 times, he'll give you $1,000. So he went up to a person backstage and he said, "Hey, dribble the basketball 10 times, I'll give you $1,000. The dude did it, and he's like, "Wait, what?" And Cameron Grimes is like, "Oh, I didn't finish watching the video," and see Ted DiBiase kick the ball. So he goes and tries again, and he goes to like this area outside where these two ladies and a guy is standing, and this woman, he gives the ball to a woman because he's sexist and thinks the woman can't do it. So he gives the ball to the woman and was
She's like a WNBA center.
Yeah. He like dribbled the ball 10 times. I'll give you $1,000. And she just crosses him up, dribbles the ball for like through her legs, behind the back, all that stuff. Gives her $1,000. Then he goes to one more guy backstage in the parking lot and was like, dribble the ball 10 times for $1,000. And the guy dribbles it one time and he just punches him and knocks him out.
So do you think this is slowly maybe how like he loses his money and then goes back to his normal gimmick where he just stupid things like this and he's like, oh wait.
Yes, he's gonna blow it all on something. But I just think this is so entertaining. It's just like a little side piece to NXT. It's not in any major storyline right
As
now.
long as I
but it's
never
fun.
see him in a Speedo, I'm okay. Ever
that's
again.
Oh,
fair.
I hope he wears a Speedo.
Me too.
Please.
So you would rather see Nia's hole than
No,
Cameron Grimes in a
neither.
Speedo?
Give me Grimes.
What about Nia in a Speedo or Cameron Grimes' hole?
Cameron Grimes.
Oh, anyway.
How about neither? Let's go with that. I'd like that one.
That just ruins the purpose of the game then.
I don't want to play the game.
Okay. Jesse, did you find out where he's from?
He's from North Carolina. He was actually trained by Matt and Jeff Hardy.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
That's
surprised he
interesting.
doesn't jump off of everything then.
No,
So I figure
but,
that's how they train him.
but he's a very, very good entertainer, and I'm just happy to see him doing some fun stuff.
Yeah,
But,
he's good. He's funny.
He's
I
funny.
enjoy him.
Very funny. And continuing with NXT, there was a street fight on NXT this week, and it was just really, really brutal. And I just want to talk about how I love Karrion Kross in this role, kind of going for the cruiserweight title with Santos Escobar. You don't have to have him in the main picture right away. There's a lot of guys who are focusing on the Undisputed Era Finn Balor thing in the main title picture right now. And I just want to get your thoughts of the street fight, how brutal it was, and how Karrion Kross basically looked like a superhero during this whole thing, and thoughts of him possibly and most likely getting that cruiserweight title.
I mean,
Sorry,
I think
I
it's
was
cool. I always like when
Is he even
when
doing
bigger
25
guys go
pounds?
into cruiser. No, he's not. Obviously, Samoa Joe was an X Division champion. Who
Yeah.
cares? You can do what you want. No, I like when cruiserweights aren't just restricted to small
He's
guys going
265
against.
pounds.
Yeah.
Little over the weight limit.
He ain't winning that
It's-
title.
Too often, I think cruiserweights are restricted to going against other cruiserweights, and
Yeah.
I think they usually have very good matches with people who aren't cruiserweights, and this is an example of that. Obviously, Escobar is a fantastic wrestler. He's not just a fantastic cruiserweight. So putting him in this kind of match where he's going up against a legit opponent and looked really good still, I think does a lot.
It was just cool to see a street fight take place actually in the street
For a little bit of time.
to
Yeah.
start it off for the first half and then move back into the arena,
Haven't
rather
seen
than
that
it just
since,
being a street fight and they just bring out a trash can. Like, well, trash cans are on the street, and then that's
It's
why
just a
it's a
hardcore
street fight.
match.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just a
no
extreme rules.
DQ.
Yeah, it's just stupid at that point. So it was just cool to see, and then not have them in like wrestling attire, but like just pants and like
Mid year.
alternate gear. So it was
Yeah.
cool. I liked it.
Justin,
It kept my
how do you
attention.
feel about like a Parkway fight or something like that?
Oh, you're gonna need a snowplow, a deer, a pickup truck.
Okay, I can see it.
Yeah. You're gonna need a
But
few,
no,
few objects.
great
and some
match.
asphalt.
Asphalt too. That's right. You gotta get all the equipment. Some salt too. Throw the salt in the eyes.
I have thrown so much freaking salt this year. Like we get pallets of like rock salt for like
Yeah.
the walkways and stuff, which is like what I maintain like the walkways and the parking lots for like the toll plazas, right? Because I don't have a CDL, so I'm not in a dump truck, thank God. The pallets have, I think it's like 50 bags of 50-pound it's 50-pound bags of rock salt per pallet, right?
Jesus.
We've gone through 6 pallets already.
Oh,
And I've thrown majority of that by like handed with the salt spreader. So I've moved literal tons of salt this year
tons. Yeah.
in February alone. So that sucks.
Yeah, you
But-
moved over 7 tons.
Yeah. So when I bitch and moan about being tired from that crap, it's justified.
You got to start cutting the salt, selling it on the side.
What it smells like in here.
Smells like bitch. So let's move on then.
Anyways, no, you do a great job at the Parkway. Thank you for your service.
Okay.
And last with NXT, Adam Cole was going to come out and explain why he did what he did, and he said he didn't want to do it, yada yada yada. Roderick Strong comes out, and Adam Cole breaks down in tears, like, "Oh, I didn't mean to do it." Blah blah blah. Great acting here. And then Roddy gets on his level and consoles him, and then Cole just hits him with a low blow, super kicks him, and it looks like we saw it coming since the end of Takeover, but we didn't know what was eventually going to happen. But finally, looks like the Undisputed Era is broken.
Hey, we still don't know where Bobby Fish stands.
Yeah, who
But yeah,
cares
the
where
era's
Bobby
over.
Fish stands?
But
I feel like he's the
again,
one who's always getting hurt.
Yeah, because he's old.
he's old.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm okay with this. Heel Adam Cole looks great. Building up Kyle O'Reilly to be a big baby face, probably going to hold the title at some point. Very similar to like Ring of Honor, how Kyle O'Reilly got his own little singles run with after the Red Dragons and all that stuff in Ring of Honor. But I'm a fan. I loved Undisputed Era as a group, but I'm a fan of this whole breakup story too. And you never know down the line if they get back together. But you guys liking the way they're doing this? Do you wish they didn't?
No, they're doing it kind of like the natural way of breaking everything up. And I'm glad that they went with Cole, who broke it up, rather than people kind of like turning on Cole and leaving. So it does more for Cole to be the bad guy, and then it'll obviously help, like, Kyle and Roderick Strong with whatever they do next.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I thought there could have been a little bit, I think, better of a way to do it, looking at like when they maybe lost the titles the first time or the second time, or when there was like infighting more so here and there. They kind of just had them off TV and kind of had them doing nothing, and then they brought them back and then they broke them up, which is okay because they were such a big name anyway that they didn't necessarily need to be on TV. But I think this is good. Give Cole another title match with Balor. If he beats him, cool. If he doesn't beat him, move Cole up to the main roster.
Yeah, I think that'd be so cool to have this new heel Adam Cole kind of beat Finn for the title, because he didn't lose the title to Finn. He lost it to Keith Lee, and Keith Lee lost it, to carry it, blah blah blah. But I feel like Finn was almost like responsible for Cole. It kind of like the chain of events. It led to this. It's like all circle coming back around. So I'm down for a new heel Adam Cole getting another title reign, and eventually O'Reilly beating him for the title in August or something like that. I'm 100% down for that.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff in NXT, like always. Keeps you on the edge of your seat. But on to Friday Night SmackDown, which also wasn't too bad this week, and it started with Roman, of course, like every week, and then Bryan wanted a match with Roman at Fastlane because he feels like he got cheated, which he kind of did get cheated out of the match at Elimination Chamber because Roman picked to have his match right after the Chamber. But then Adam Pearce said, well, Uso got involved, and Adam Pearce said, Uso versus Bryan tonight. If Bryan wins, he's in the match at Fastlane, and it ended in a double countout. So we don't really know what's going to happen at Fastlane. I think they're still going to wind up doing Roman and Bryan or something like that. Where do you guys think Roman goes from here? Because they're not going to have him lose the title, obviously, because the match with Edge is the marquee match. But what happens here? What happens here?
I think they give Daniel Bryan a match.
Yeah, he'll be his.
They do the Fastlane match. It'll be a good one, but yeah.
Yeah, right.
Roman's obviously not going to lose the belt. Like, how many times have we actually seen like the person who the Rumble challenger picked lose the belt before Mania? I don't think like ever, right?
I don't think ever that I can remember.
So it's not going to happen. So give Daniel Bryan his little moment in the sun just to get eaten again by Roman, and then we're on to the next one.
Yeah, no, I agree with both you guys. It sucks that Bryan's a little one-off here. I think this would be a perfect position for like someone not as established to just get into a main roster role for like not main roster, a main event role for a little bit. Like they've been building Cesaro, but it looks like he's going to be feuding with Seth Rollins for the nearby future. Shinsuke Nakamura is a great one to have for Fastlane too, but it looks like he's feuding with Apollo Crews at the moment in that whole IC title situation.
I want to see Roman just destroy Corbin. Like I would love that. I want to see him just pick Corbin apart and destroy him.
That's the king.
That's fine. I'm good with anything bad happening to Corbin.
Exactly.
I'm over him.
I would love if Roman just.
And he was an offensive tackle for the Colts, so he's fine getting destroyed too. Not a good one.
I like Corbin.
Was that during the Luck era?
No.
Way before.
I was about to say that's how you knew he wasn't good then.
I think he was like mid Peyton era, but he didn't he never played.
I don't think he made the 53-man roster. No, but no, he posted that picture on Instagram the other day of how chubby and
he got cut by us, and then he actually made the roster for the Cardinals, but then he got cut in 2011, but actually never played a game.
Yeah, so yeah, and he was fat then, and he's very skinny now, so good for him. But anyways, I just feel like I'd rather have someone else for a one-off than Daniel Bryan, because I don't know what Bryan's going to be lost in the shuffle for Mania again, unless they pull a triple threat or something, which would be kind of awesome. Edge, Bryan, Roman would be a phenomenal match. But Anyways, let's continue with SmackDown so we can get this done with. And last week we didn't get to talk about it because of the Elimination Chamber, but Apollo Crews showed this new attitude that he's been hinting at on Talking Smack and hinting at during the weeks on SmackDown. And we finally see him come out in tights now. No more trunks. And we see him in this scarf. And said he's channeling his Nigerian roots of the past, of his ancestors, very similar to his indie character of Uha Nation. Don't know how to say it, don't want to mispronounce it, but he said that was his grandfather's name and he wants to embrace those roots of his past. And he has a character. Apollo Crews has never had a character in WWE.
Well, that's the big thing.
Smiled a lot.
That's the big thing. He's never had anything to work or build off of or any motivation behind anything ever. Really the US one was just for his kids. That's it.
He was a smiley guy, a handsome man with a nice smile. That's all he was.
Yeah. So the fact that they're actually doing something with him or letting him attempt to work with something, good. Thank you. We needed it. He needed it.
About time.
Yeah.
They kept toying us with the Hurt Business thing and they never gave it to us. So good. He needed a rebrand desperately. He's needed a rebrand for years.
It's a really good rebrand too. It's not a little crappy rebrand or anything. It works and it's perfect for a mid-card title. Him versus Big E might be the match at WrestleMania. I think that's phenomenal. If you have Apollo win the title at WrestleMania, I think that's awesome in this new gimmick. Give him a new theme now because his theme is still to a little happy-go-lucky type of theme. But I love the new gear. I love the colors. I love just everything that they're doing with this character. I think it's really, really well done. Hopefully you win the world title too. You never know. He might win a world title down the line too.
I mean, we said that about Kofi, and he eventually won it. 10 years later.
Won it.
So who knows?
But it would be nice to have more than one black champion, in our
time. In our time, basically. But the fact that he has something to build off of and try to work with. It can't be bad. Like you said, this was his indie thing, so it worked to an extent to get him to WWE. So who knows?
I just said more than one black champion. We're probably gonna have one in a couple of weeks with Bobby Lashley, anyways. But we need more than that. They haven't got enough opportunities, black people, to have an opportunity in the world title scene. So it's nice to finally see Apollo, Ricochet, Big E, Bobby Lashley, the Hurt Business, people of color to finally be in main title scenes. It's awesome. Anyways, let's continue. I think there's one more thing to talk about in SmackDown. Yes, there is. And it's Bianca Belair making her WrestleMania decision, which we all expected it to be Sasha Banks. And like Jesse and I and Justin have all been saying, especially Jesse, for the last couple of months since Bianca won the Rumble, this has to main event.
I said before the Rumble.
Before.
I said Bianca Sasha should be your Mania match no matter what you do.
Main event. I'm saying.
It should definitely be the main event of night one.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
There's no other way around it, I think. This has the potential to be
match of the year.
As good as Rhea Charlotte was last year.
Really, really good.
Yeah, especially if they give it time.
It will be good. It will be good. Two top females in the business right now. Probably maybe the top two in the whole business side.
And neither of them are heels either. Really.
No, it's more of a respect match in a way. They respect what each other has, but they still want to prove that they're the best at what they do. Because Bianca's whole thing is EST, whatever. And Sasha even said on SmackDown this week, I'm the best, not you, blah, blah, blah. It's more of a respect thing. And I'm fine with neither of them being the heel. I'm really okay with it. It works because they both have that vicious side to them, but they all can also be a really good babyface too. So I'm cool with it. And any other closing thoughts before I wrap this up?
No, I hope they build it well and a better main event.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. And we're on the road to WrestleMania, so we're getting exciting stuff finally.
We're in the fast lane.
We're in the fast lane, baby. Hopefully there's no
we got a roadblock in front of us.
No roadblock. But that does it for this episode of the Sports Department Podcast. Thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it. Joe and Steve, who aren't on this podcast, also appreciate you guys listening to us. Make sure you guys subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast from. Just give us a listen. It helps us a lot. Give us a rating, whatever the hell that stuff is. Follow us on our social medias on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Sports Depth Pod. That's Sports DEPT Pod. We have another mock draft. I believe Jesse and Steve just did this week. That's cool. Justin probably put up a hockey episode by the time this one uploads.
It's uploading now, so
it's uploading right now. So it's up right now. I think you guys are recording a baseball one either today or sometime next week for
probably
the
tomorrow.
League.
And that'll be the AL Central, and then we'll probably bang out another one. Oh, no, NL Central because we did AL. Yes. So we'll probably do one of the West ones, probably AL West, because that division's also becoming a disaster as we know it. So that'll probably be mid to end of the week.
Okay. Yeah, you, Joe, and Steven are going to be banging those out, and I'll hop on for the NL East and AL East because that's all I know about in baseball, really, for the time being. As the season goes on, I'll probably be following baseball more, so maybe I'll hop on a couple more episodes.
Gets one top 10 player in baseball, automatically cares.
Okay. Relax. We have two. We have Jacob deGrom too, the best pitcher.
It's like Jesse when he got a top player in the NBA.
I'm sorry. We have 3 top 15 players.
But no, it sucks being a Met fan, but it finally some upside there, so that's fun.
I'll be an Orioles fan instead?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly.
Blame your father. Don't blame us.
Yeah.
Anyways, all that fun stuff is coming. Maybe another basketball one too, but stay tuned to all that fun stuff, and we'll see you in the next episode.